A few weeks ago, I was asked to say a few words about family. Really, me, a few words about family. The irony of it is that because of my family situation, I've given a tremendous amount of thought to what family is, what makes up a family. And the Bible talks a lot about family. Proverbs 6:16-19 says, there are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that hurry to run to evil, a lying witness who testifies falsely, and one who sows discord in a family. The New Testament, 1 Timothy 5:8 says, and whoever does not provide for relatives, and especially for family members, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. So I think the Bible is pretty clear about the importance of family. Now, I had an incredible childhood. My parents were hardworking, dedicated, set a great example. They were always there for me, very strict. I had incredible parents. And I want to say right here, though, that the person or persons who take the responsibility for a child, who love that child, and nurture that child, and raise that child, that is a parent. And I'll come back to a similar topic in a few minutes. Now, my childhood, on Saturdays, I spent all day Saturday playing with my cousins at my Big Mama and Big Daddy's house. We had huge family dinners with my grandparents, my aunt, uncle, cousins, and my immediate family. It all started over on Sunday after church, except at Mama and Papa's house, and a much larger family. There are many things I wanted to tell in regards to my family because of how much it has meant to me. But I narrowed down to one story that I want to tell you about my family. It was the summer between my 4th and 5th grade year. I went the entire half block down to Mama and Papa's house, and I ran in the house, and Mama was ironing, and for any children that are in here, that's a very hot job. She did that. She took in ironing to help make ends meet. And it was a hot summer day, and we didn't have air conditioning, of course. And I went in and I said, Mama, where's Papa? And she indicated that he was in the backyard. I ran to the window. Sorry. I looked out and I saw my Papa. I want to back up just a second. My Papa was very ill at that time. He was sitting in an old wooden chair in his pajamas. My dad had made this old wooden Adirondack chair for him. And it was under this big giant shade tree, beautiful tree that I played under so many, many times. And when I looked out and I saw Papa, I immediately realized he was praying. I did not have any idea at that point what a profound effect that it had on my life. I didn't then, not a year later, not 5 years later, not 10 years later. But through the years, that memory kept coming back to me. And I finally began to realize how deeply it had touched my heart. As I said, I had basically a very idyllic childhood. I can only remember 2 different time periods that it was really difficult, and that was the loss of a very special great aunt, my great Aunt Bess, and then the April of my 5th grade year when I lost my Papa, my great Uncle Jess, my dog Sandy, my first non-human family member, and I saw my first tornado. Other than that, I guess I had the perfect childhood. Now, does family need to be related? No. I don't think so. I don't think there's anything about that. You can have family that is not related, and I have a huge family, I think, that is not related. They can be old friends or new friends. I will mention Diana Webster, the founder of an organization y'all know I support, the Native American Humane Society. We share a common vision of wanting to make a difference for animals and for humans, And we are both very committed to that. And that's how we became friends, and she is now a sister, even though I had not met her. I did not meet her face to face until last September. Now, speaking of animals, and I've already mentioned, my Sandy was my first non-human family member, and he started it when he was a puppy and I was a toddler, and all the different species and animals I've had have all been family. Rex, some of y'all have seen him, and my lab pit, and Popcorn, my cat dog pit, and notice the middle name here for my border collie mix, Willow Trouble. They're all family members. I was thinking more about family. It doesn't have anything to do with DNA. It doesn't have anything to do with race. It doesn't have anything to do even with species. And I want to say that this church, to me, epitomizes family. This church pulls together, prays for each other. If one of us falls, there are many hands reaching out to pull us up. We respect each other in differences. We love, we forgive, and thank goodness for the forgiveness, because we're certainly not perfect. No family is, no person is. Pastor asked me one time, what is it about this church that made me love it so much? And I don't remember what all I said except for the word broken. And certainly history has given us reason for brokenness. And we've all experienced pain, emotional pain, and things that have broken our hearts. And some of us have become broken because of that. But brokenness does not make us weak. It's how we handle that brokenness. Brokenness helps us to develop empathy. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about this church, because people here know how to empathize with others and can be so sincere in reaching out to others that I don't see in some places. And this is a very, very special family. I want to mention in closing that in my former church, we had a visiting pastor who used his hobby to make a point of his sermon. And his hobby was of stained glass. Well, if you have stained glass, you end up with a box full of little broken pieces of beautiful colored glass. And he looked at that box, and he was trying to decide what to do with that box. This was his solution. He took the broken pieces and made something beautiful out of it. And if only we allow God to do that, He will take our brokenness and make a thing of beauty and strength. And I see that He has done that and is doing that for this church family and its members. I just want to say that this, I love this church. And I marvel at the talent, the caring, the dedication, the compassion, and the charity of this church. You reach out way beyond the walls of this church. And I want to thank you for welcoming me into this incredible, this awesome family. I hope. Amen.